And what did she do to them black women to prove that she ain't black? Went and got a white man at the best, because I believe she's a straight carpet muncher. But she went and got a white man to prove to the black women in all the black colleges, I ain't black like y'all. I ain't gonna deal with no black man. Okay, you don't think that's enough? Well, let's talk about how Kamala grew up. Let's go. Unseen Kamala footage. Niggas know what it is.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, right. Whoever Willie Brown is, right. I didn't know about, because I don't know about none of this shit. You right. I heard about Willie Brown. I don't know the story. Very true. I heard about something like that. I don't know the story, but my point is, this woman, if you could see on the screen, this is where this woman is from. I don't know what a problem is. I don't know none of this shit. All I know is I'm the one with the Kamala Harris videos that nobody has ever seen. And I sit there and say to myself, Roland Martin, why you don't play this kind of video? Why you sitting there playing HBCU stuff to prove that she's black and dealing with black women and abortion? What the hell?
And for the work of Pratham and everyone here for this work that you do supporting this very noble and important work. Deepak has been talking with me for years about his commitment to education, to our young people, to our future, and to doing everything that is necessary to organize so many leaders to come together in support of those.
Unseen Kamala Harris stories about her childhood. Support the channel.
Whose voices must be heard and those who must be seen. And Deepak, I cannot thank you enough for your friendship and your leadership and everyone here for the work you are doing supporting Pratham.
Who is Deepak? Who is Pratham?
So it's been a really long week. I'm really glad to be here. But I want to thank you. And my kitty is here, my mother's youngest sister, Chinni Mahalakshmi.
My kitty is here, my mother's younger sister. What the fuck is a kitty? I bet black women don't know Kamala talk like that. These black women are fucking Steve Harvey. All these people are pathetic trying to say this bitch is black. Y'all black people should be, y'all should get the shit slapped out of y'all, B.
But I want to thank you. And my kitty is here, my mother's youngest sister, Chinni Mahalakshmi Subhash is here, and I want to thank her. She flew in from Toronto to be with us this evening. Please, Chitty, will you wave? And my sister Maya, so I want to thank my family for being here. So there's a lot to talk about. So many of you may know my background, but my parents met when they were graduate students at the University of California, Berkeley, in the 1960s, while they were both active in the civil rights movement. And my mother arrived at UC Berkeley when she was 19 years of age from India, because when she was going to school and she decided...
Everybody knows the mother arrived from India. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that part. So that's the first line of order. So where's the black at? So they gonna say the father. They done said the father's Jamaican and Indian and all this other stuff. But what about how she grew up? Did she grow up black? Oh, she went to an HSBC, whatever that shit, HBCU.
She wanted to study science. She said to her father, my grandfather, I want to go to one of the best places in the world that actually teaches science. She was an endocrinologist.
Kamala's mother was a smart woman and her father had money. She said, I want to go to one of the best places in the world, Cal Berkeley. And we're going to also, yo, when y'all hear this shit, yo, fuck that. Let's get raw. Kamala Harris' mother was a no-good, Americanized, I don't want to say it. Kamala Harris' mother, do you hear what her father did for her? Sent her to Cal Berkeley because she asked. What did that man want back in return? That man wanted an arranged marriage. Kamala Harris' mother ain't shit.
To study science, she said to her father, my grandfather, I want to go to one of the best places in the world that actually teaches science. She was an endocrinologist. And so she looked at my grandfather and said, I want to go to Berkeley, California. And my grandfather, who had been one of the independence fighters in India, said to his daughter, his eldest child, if this is what you want to do, I will support you and you go. And he put my mother at 19 years of age on an airplane to fly from India to Berkeley, California to study and eventually.
Real Kamala Harris stories that you never heard. Real Kamala Harris stories disproving Roland Martin lying ass about Kamala Harris is black. And all you fake ass niggas out there, especially the black woman.
She got her PhD there. And it was during the time that she was a student there and having the background that she had, being raised by a father who fought for freedom and for justice and for independence, that she, of course...
That father sound like a good man. All he wanted was an arranged marriage. Let's go. Let's go.
Was naturally attracted to the civil rights movement that was in full force in Berkeley and Oakland, California in the 1960s. And so, you know, she was, of course, the family expectation is that she would go and she would get her PhD and then she would return to India for a good arranged marriage.
Stop the show. The real Kamala Harris videos nobody has. Roland Martin, all the smart guys, all the big wigs, they don't got this work. I'm teaching the real Kamala around here. I'm the one that got the real work. Kamala Harris' mother ain't shit. Disrespected her own father. It's embarrassing. That's what they all do. Bitch talking about you ain't grew up with no father. You grew up with a father, bitch. You just ain't shit. She didn't join civil rights movement intentionally. Oh, hold on. Damn. Yo, I can't stop the chat. Because I don't want to fuck up. Her father is Jamaican and Hindu Indian, Irish descent. Mother's a straight Hindu Indian. Brother, this is the story. Fuck all that shit you heard. Because one thing I know for sure, you ain't heard this. I'm the only one with it, nigga. And that's pathetic, because I'm just as dumb as a bag of rocks.
But she met my father and had a love marriage, and here I am in California in the 1960s. And so, you know, she was, of course, the family expectation is that she would go and she would get her PhD and then she would return to India for a good arranged marriage.
Just like every fucking other immigrant, come here, use up America and take it back to their country. But Roland Martin talking about, but she was at an HSBCU with a bunch of black women that don't like black men and care about abortion. You black people are pathetic.
And so, you know, she was, of course, the family expectation is that she would go and she would get her PhD and then she would return to India for a good arranged marriage. But she met my father and had a love marriage, and here I am, and there's my sister.
You just said how your mother ain't shit, and you laughed at it. That's what the modern woman does. That is what the modern woman does. The bitch laugh at all the things that make her not shit. She had a love marriage. No, she disobeyed that man that sent her out there. That's what she did. Yo, bro. Ain't shit y'all could do about it. The black woman is all in, but this is the truth. This is the truth right here.
But I will tell you, my grandfather was one of the most influential people in my life. In fact, he convinced me that I was his favorite grandchild. And I know he convinced each of his grandchildren they were his favorite grandchild. But I remember so vividly, and we would go back to India every other year.
We would go back to India every other year. What the fuck is Roland Martin talking about? This bitch grew up a Hindu. It's not something that I'm saying to be disrespectful. She said it. I'm only doing it to say that Roland Martin is crazy zesty after the butt video, and he's an agent. He's lying to you blacks. Also, the black woman, you dumb. The only way that she's black is because you said she is. I mean, it's disgusting. Don't even know the bitch went back and forth to India every year. You talking about her daddy was Jamaican. Bitch ain't go to no Jamaica. Bitch went to India every year because her grandfather was a good man and was a heartbroken man. Because his eldest daughter that he sent to Cal Berkeley, he had a ring. He did everything that he could to have this woman come back and give back to the family with the arranged marriage. And she didn't hold up her end of the bargain. And now y'all got the daughter of a bitch like that being president. Yo, y'all crazy.
I was growing up. And I remember in particular the times that I spent with my grandfather. They lived in, he by this time had retired. They were living in Madras, then called Madras, now Chennai, in Besanaker. And I remember my grandfather...
In Besanaker. She spent every other summer in Besanaker, India, making sure she stayed cultured, making sure she learned the tutelage to come around blacks and mix it up and chop it up and be smart and infiltrate and help them, help the black woman. This is sick.
There had a ritual with his buddies who were like him, people who had served and who had fought, and they were all retired, and they had this ritual of walking on the beach every morning. And my grandfather would let me walk with him during these walks on the beach. And it was considered a very big honor because no one in the family was allowed to walk with my grandfather on these walks with his buddies. And I would hold his hand, and I remember the stories that they would tell and the passion with which they spoke about the importance of democracy. The passion that they had about the importance of having a democracy that spoke for the people and that was free of corruption and that was about fighting for everyone and treating people like equals. And as I reflect on those moments in my life that have had the most impact on who I am today, I wasn't conscious of it at the time, but it was those walks on the beach with my grandfather in Besantnagar that had a profound impact on who I am today, and frankly, the week I've had.
Besantnagar from India is who Kamala Harris is. I don't know where these black women or Steve Harvey and D.L. I don't know where they get this from. D.L. Hewley said he didn't do a Google search. Brother, I'm stupid. Like, how do I have all the key Kamala stuff and you don't? You might be more dumb than me, brother.
But my grandfather was my pen pal, and so many of us know if you went back and forth growing up to India,
if you went back and forth growing up to India, then you know how we did it. We did pen pals. It wasn't the internet back then. Y'all know how we did it. All you Indians know how we got down. Miss Harris is the daughter of Donald J. Harris, who was born in Jamaica. And brother. I don't know what you mean when you say whatever you saying. I'm just telling you the woman ain't black. I don't know what y'all trying to make out of this. I'm letting you hear her talk about how she grew up. This ain't got nothing to do with black and white. This is just how she grew up. If you determine she's black after hearing this, ain't nothing I could do. For real. Ain't shit I could do. I'm just letting you know how she grew up.
My grandfather was my pen pal, and so many of us know if you went back and forth growing up to India, and if you're of a certain generation, this was before email, and he was my pen pal, and we would write letters back and forth. Later, my grandparents actually, after being in Besantnagar for a while, moved to Chandigarh because my aunt, my mother's other sister, is a physician, and she headed the OBGYN division of PGI, Postgraduate Institute, which is one of the largest teaching hospitals in India.
Her aunt was a bigwig at one of the largest things in India. Okay? This is how she grew up. That's all I'm saying, brothers. You know, I just don't say she black to me, because I'm telling you and she's telling me how she grew up. Okay? And that woman went to a HBCU. What the fuck does that mean? So do white people, Chinese people, all kind of people.
And so we would go and visit them in Chandigarh, which is where my grandparents would stay with my aunt. And I remember fondly those visits. But one time in particular, which I will share with you, it was years after my grandfather passed away, and my grandmother was living with my aunt in Chandigarh. And it was right after I was elected district attorney.
My grandmother was living with my aunt in Chandigarh. So now, what have you learned? You've learned Betaskar, Mahandagar. You're learning different Indian places. You're learning, family. You're learning something here. You don't know shit about this unless you're a geography geek. You're learning now. Bernie, see, that's the thing I think. He said, I'm surprised they didn't wipe this off the internet. The thing is like this, Bernie. For me to find all this stuff, what I'm trying to let you know is this ain't about hiding. This is about we gonna win regardless. We've done built up this organization over 40 years. So when this very moment came and they pushed her up without having a primary, they already knew they had this one. They ain't got to do shit. Our question is, how come the media and everybody don't have this? I'm the dumbest man on the internet. How I got this?
Of San Francisco. And I realized
the shit almost scares me half to death because they keep sending me all this stuff on my algorithm. And I'm like, yo, why y'all keep doing this? Kamala telling her truth. I'm not mad at her.
During the end of that first year, a lot of people don't work between that week between Christmas and New Year's. I should go visit my grandmother, because my grandmother at that point was not getting out of bed. And everyone was saying she was just very tired and ill, and she just was not getting out of bed. And so I thought, I'll go visit my grandmother. So even though it was kind of on the verge of monsoon season, I flew to Delhi. The weather was bad, so I took the train from Delhi to Chandigarh. I got off the train.
You could take the train from Delhi to Chandigarh. You're learning stuff. This bitch knows some India. You hear me?
And I arrived at my aunt's house. And now, it was always the case that there would be a big basket of fruit in front of my aunt's front door, because she practically delivered every baby that was born in Chandigarh. And so the families would always bring fruit and gifts for her. And I arrived, and then I looked a little beyond the front door, and I saw this white tent in the backyard. Because you see, my grandmother all of a sudden felt quite well and had decided to arrange a big feast for me where she invited the whole town that arrived in the backyard of my...
She went back to India. Her grandmother did a big feast for her. That's her culture. That's how she grew up. And now she's district attorney. And they threw her a big congratulations for being Indian and making something of herself and bringing it back home. Next up.
My aunt's house. So the white tent was there. There were chafing dishes. And there my grandmother sat in a chair where everyone came to honor her, Amaji, Amaji, and she would just pat their head like she was the godfather.
Amaji, Amaji, Amaji. Amaji, 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 Amaji. Yo, it's real, son. Amaji. Come on, man. This is Kamala, man. Roland Martin is a big fat liar, B. And everybody else that try to put black on this woman. Miss Harris, 4 times paternal great-grandfather Hamilton Brown was born in the Coentrum, 1776. Then the comment went away. I can't see the rest. Yeah, I appreciate the receipts, but this story is fire. This Kamala Harris talking about her childhood, never seen before video. You got it here first. You see it anywhere else, you know I had it first. Let's go.
So the white tent was there. There were chafing dishes. And there my grandmother sat in a chair where everyone came to honor her, Amaji, Amaji, and she would just pat their head like she was the godfather. And and my grandmother was quite well. But these are the among the memories and the experiences that have influenced who I am today.
These are the memories and the moments that influence who she is today. Not this HBCU bullshit. Roland